Hey everybody, and happy holidays. Welcome to the annual Adobe Live holiday stream. I'm seeing everybody jump into chat. Excited to see you there. So if you are watching but not in chat, please jump in because it's just me talking and I would love to be chatting with you guys, hearing your ideas, all of that. So I'm really excited. On this stream, we're going to be designing a pin together. When I was thinking about the holidays and what it means to me, it's a lot of getting offline, being with my family, and decorating cookies. And so today we're going to be designing a pin that looks like gingerbread cookies, which sounds yummy, but don't eat it because it's probably not good for your teeth. So a few exciting things that are going on in this stream is that there's going to be a sweepstakes giveaway going on. So if you're in the chat, there should be like a little tab there where you can input your information. No purchase necessary. Just need to be watching the stream. I think you need to be in Canada or United States, I think, to get that for shipping purposes, but definitely jump in there and input your information because you'll get this pin that I'm designing on the stream along with other collateral from other designers this week, and it's really cool. So definitely put your information in, get that going your way. And then another giveaway is going to be the files that we're working on with the stream. So they're actually in the description for this video. If you want to click below, you can grab the Illustrator file, work along with me, take it, print it, do whatever you want with it, and definitely share it because I'd love to see what you're doing. Adobe Live would love to see what you're doing. So take that file, and if you do anything with it, tag at either at Adobe Live or at me, Emily Poulin, on Instagram, and we'd love to see what you're making. So if you are new here, or if you're not new here, we're just really excited that you're here, and make sure that you're getting plugged into this community. So I would say subscribe to the YouTube channel and connect on Instagram at Adobe Live as well. So that way we're all here together, chatting, being creative, doing all of that. So yeah, I think those are all the big announcements. Lots of free things, lots of fun. The holidays are here, and we're gonna make some pins. So let's get to it. I'm not sure which doc. Okay. Okay, let's just move on then. So here's my Illustrator, or I can maybe, yeah. Let me know if this Illustrator file is looking correct for you guys here. I believe, oh, this is what we're talking about. Here, let me just make this guy a little tiny. We'll do that for now. Okay, so here's my file that is gonna be in the Dropbox link if you go and open that. And these are all gonna be outlined for you and ready for you, so whatever you wanna do with them. But we're gonna be looking at what it makes, or what it takes to make like really fun patterns like this and colors like that. Also, I'm using two screens here, so if I'm looking this way, I'm gonna be keeping up with chat. And if I'm looking this way, then I'm gonna be designing. So I'm gonna try and do both. So if it takes me a second, bear with me. But I'm really excited to see what you guys are gonna do with these. And then I saw, okay, is one of the pins ham? Yes. So this was my original idea. I was like, oh, a Christmas ham is a really big tradition in my family. And what goes along with ham is pineapple rings, in my opinion. But I couldn't find a good way that they looked like good together, especially at like a small scale. So they're kind of living separately. But since Christmas ham didn't feel as like approachable for everybody, this is going to be the hero pin. So if you do win the sweepstakes, this is the pin that you would be getting. Or it might look like this shape. I'm not actually sure. I sent two, so maybe get both, but I think you only get one. And so it's gonna look like either of these because these felt more, Christmassy to me. And then, yeah, we have a little candle that feels Christmassy, or not even Christmassy, sorry, holiday, because there's a lot of holidays that revolve around light and candles. And then the little mitten, because it's cold a lot of places, not where I live in California, but a lot of places it's pretty chilly. So these are the designs that I came up with, and I thought that would be really fun. Let me see. Oh, we're seeing some pineapples in the chat. I love that. Amazing. Okay, cool. So let's get into it. Yeah, although you're right, holiday Christmas gingerbread ham does not sound appetizing, but it is sure fun to design. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with this one since this is like the sweepstakes girl here. She is gonna be using the radial pattern tool, which is gonna be something probably familiar for a lot of people. If not, it's a really handy tool that I would recommend using. So let's get into designing this one, okay? So I'm gonna use the same file just because it's already here. And I'm gonna size down this one to maybe like a 5x5. Originally I was gonna put these all in one artboard, but I was like, oh, maybe this will be a little bit easier. Oops, let me actually highlight that for you here. 5, tab 5. And this is just the artboard tool, which I use a lot of. So I'm a freelance graphic designer, so I work with a bunch of really fun and different brands. And so I don't do a lot of pins in my day-to-day, but it would be really fun if I did. So it's really cool to get this opportunity to do something a little different. So I'm gonna zoom in. This scale might be a little small as we're working. Sometimes it's bigger or easier to work at a bigger scale and then scale it down, but we're gonna start around this size, which a 5x5 pin would still be like really giant, so we wouldn't do that. But this is just gonna be an easier scale to work at. So I'm gonna start for this snowflake here. we are gonna just start by drawing one of like the little snowflake flakes or arms, I guess. I don't know what snowflakes have. If you know a snowflake anatomy, drop it in the chat. So I'm gonna pull this here. Okay, and I'm just gonna use the pen tool because that's gonna give me like the most control that I'm looking for here. But for the other ones, I'm gonna probably use the pencil tool. I was gonna say pen tool again, the pencil tool, because I think that part of holiday decorating and what makes it like very personable is that it is like hand done. And so that way it should be like a little bit messier maybe. So I'm gonna do a little bit different design than the snowflake that's in the file just to keep it exciting. But you know, snowflakes are all different, so it's all good. It's all good here. Okay, so I'm gonna use the pen tool again. And I'm just gonna make these little loops. I feel like that's like a typical snowflake, but maybe I should do something different since I did like loops on the other one. But and then I'm gonna hold Option Shift drag. Oops. And you see how there's like two little arrows? That's gonna duplicate it for me, which is exciting. Oh, someone said tendrils, appendages, fingers. Yeah, see, no one's really sure, but wait, those are some really good guesses. Maybe there's like a scientist who's joined this Adobe stream. They're trying to, you know, try a new field out. Okay, so I'm gonna paste that here. Now it looks like a little flower. Maybe that's too flowery. Let's see. I'm gonna Option Shift drag again. I'm gonna make this one like a little bit bigger so it scales as it goes down maybe. And then maybe if we did like a little like infinity type sign, I think that could be cool. So I'm gonna use the brush tool here just to make my life difficult. Oops. Just to like concept and see if like that's something that we're liking. Maybe that looks too similar. Let's go ahead and do a triangle. I think that could be kind of cool. So I'm gonna draw a square, and then I'm gonna use my pen tool and hit the minus and rotate that. I'm gonna actually bring this out kind of like this, maybe like a little bow tie. I think that could be cool. And because I use a shape, the line width got a little bit different. And then I'm gonna also object transform reflect this one as well. Okay, kind of looks like a Christmas tree here. Yes, we are calling a snowflake scientist. If you could page one, anyone knows anyone, that'd be really awesome. Okay, let's bring this down. So I've been joining and watching the other holiday streams this morning, and they've been really, really exciting. There was like a really cool printable ornament. The previous stream before this was like holiday tags. And so if you guys haven't watched them or want to like go back, you definitely should, because I've been learning so many fun things and it's just really put me in the holiday spirit, which I think has been really, really needed. I feel like it gets busy near the holidays, especially if you're working in like design and marketing. And I feel like it's a nice little time to just enjoy. Okay, so I think this is going to be really different than what we had previously. Maybe I'll make these like, I don't know. These could get, actually, let's delete these because they're going to repeat in the middle and it might get like too close. So I'm going to move these back out. So here's my little tree, kind of. My tendril. I'm going to Command G to group this. And then I am going to keep this highlighted and I'm going to go to Object and I'm going to go to Repeat and go Radial. Woohoo! Okay, look at that. So you could do this manually as well, but math is really hard, and so are repeating patterns. And so Illustrator is really powerful and can do it for you, so I really would recommend using that tool. Oh, wow, we have science happening here. Okay, it's a crystal in crystalline form. Wow, that's science right there. I have no argument. That sounds perfect. So let's use this crystalline form then. Okay, there's also probably science of how many points they have. I think 5 or 6 looks about right. So I'm gonna do 5. Well, maybe that looks like a star. So I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do 6 then. And so there's gonna be a couple little tools here that you can use, which I think are very important. Well, they make up the tool. So yeah, they're very important. If you grab this one on the right here, this adjusts how many repetitions or instances, I guess it's using, are in the pattern. So you can adjust it here like that. And then you can grab it here to pull it in. So that's why I took out the little circles I had earlier, because I think that they were going to get in the way as we get closer, which we might have to adjust this either way. But so yeah, you can pull these in closer like that, or you can pull it out larger like this, depending on like how you want to edit it. So I'm going to drag this back to 6 like we had it, and then I'm going to rotate it to be straight up and down, because this just seems easier to have like a vertical design right here. So if I want to edit it, that's where I can do it. So I'm gonna pull this right over here, and then I want these to touch, but see how these are gonna interact here? I don't really want that. So I'm gonna come in here, double click on my original one, and then I'm gonna use A to get the direct select tool, and I'm gonna pull this down. And so since this is in the radial pattern tool, it's gonna repeat it all around, right? So here we go. I'm holding shift to make sure I'm going straight here, just to ensure that I'm not going crazy, because it is a little bit difficult if you get it off center. And then I'm gonna spread this part out a little bit. Well, maybe actually, I'm gonna bring this down. Ooh, that was really cool to watch. Okay, I'm liking that, but I am noticing that There's like a little gap right here, and I think that's because this guy got off somehow. So let's go ahead and grab that. Ooh, that's so cool to watch it all move at the same time. All right, I'm gonna change the whole plan now. For this stream, we're just gonna use the radial tool. Just kidding, because it's really fun. All right, and then this one got off as well. Oops, not that. And I'm just using the arrow tools here to click it over to make sure that they like get where they need to go. You could also just drag them, but it feels a little more precise. Amazing. Cool. And also, okay, so just gonna ask chat since you guys are all here and hanging out, if there's any ideas that you guys want to see turn into a gingerbread holiday ornament. If not, I'm probably gonna work through these ones here unless something like really strikes us. So if you have any ideas of like what you like to see as a cookie, let me know and drop it in the comments. And I'm gonna change the shape of this. I don't know if I really like maybe I'm gonna round this side. Yeah, that feels like it belongs in the same snowflake now. And maybe change the angle of it like this. I think that's cool. Whoa. All right, transform, reflect. Okay. All right, that angle's too crazy. There's a lot of math and science and snowflakes here is what we're learning, and a lot of art. Okay, transform, reflect. Amazing. Okay, that looks really cool and really pretty, honestly. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the corners here and I'm gonna hold Option Shift to scale it down into the middle. And the line width is changing a bit, which is okay. I think that this looks like a believable like icing width. Ooh, what do we have? Pine cone cookie. Ooh, wow. That's gonna be a lot of repeating pattern too. That'll be cool. Okay, I'm gonna type that here so I don't forget. Pine cone cookie. And if anyone else has any suggestions, feel free to drop them in and we'll keep track of them here. Let's use just Helvetica, the classic. That way I won't get lost. We'll leave it right here. Okay, so here's my shape. And then I'm gonna outline this or object expand this so that we get rid of this pattern tool so it doesn't move around anymore because I'm pretty happy with how it looks. If you weren't ready for that or you just wanna keep experimenting, definitely don't do that part yet, but I would keep it there. So I'm gonna actually adjust this maybe to 2.5. I don't know what it is, if it's just me, but every time I'm like, oh, maybe 3 was too much, 2 was too little, I always end up going for like the half increment. What that is, I don't know, but that's usually what happens to me. I'm gonna duplicate this just to make sure that this is what I want. I'm gonna expand this again, and I'm gonna combine this so it's a solid shape using the Pathfinder right here, having that object highlighted, and then go Pathfinder. I'm gonna use this first one here, which is Unite. So it's gonna bring all those together, so now our snowflake is one shape. So she went from all these little individual shapes to one giant shape. And I'm gonna use this now and expand or give an offset path so that we can make the cookie behind the icing, right? I guess it's a little bit backwards. You should maybe do like the cookie and then the icing in the real world, but in the design world, it's a little bit easier, I think, to do the icing and then the cookie. So here's my shape then, and I'm gonna go to Object, Path, Offset Path. There's another option, which Andrew Hawkrattle, who's streaming after me, recently taught, that it's over here in the Properties panel, but I actually still prefer to go do it this way. I don't know why, but he can clarify for you. Make sure you stick around for his stream and ask him why. So I'm going to use this then, and I'm going to make sure I'm just selecting the offset path, which gave me like this consistent outline of the shape that I'm working with. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to sample this brown tone. I could also add it to my swatches, so it's just waiting there for me, but I love the eyedropper. I always come back to it. And then we're probably not going to line the cookie. That doesn't seem like probable, so I'm going to turn off that outline. And then there's our like, first cookie, and it looks really good. Okay, so bring that right here for you. So I'm gonna go back up here and reference like the artwork that we had going on earlier just to make sure that it looks consistent. And I added these little squares or triangles, sorry, little sparkles to make it feel more festive. And then I added some of these pink circles just to keep it looking really cute. And then this pink background is for the enamel pin itself. So this would be like the white would probably be where the metal is or the line. And then the pink and the brown and the yellow would definitely be the fill colors. So we don't need this pink outline unless this was going to be like the pin again. So we might be able to add that and it would be the same process of the offset path, or we could just leave it off. So for now, we'll leave it off, but I'm going to bring over one of these little stars and I'll show you how I made it, but just to grab that to have it here. And so we'll figure out how we're going to fill that in here. So I would say, oh, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab one of these pink circles as well to make sure that it's available when we need it. How's everyone? Super quick cookie baking in Illustrator. Yes, this is the Easy Bake Oven 2023 version, and that's all digital. I used to love the Easy Bake Oven. Maybe that's where this originally was inspired, was when I was what, like 8 with an Easy Bake Oven. How they make cookies with a light bulb, I really have no idea. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop this pink circle in right here because I feel like that's an easy fill for us. So I'm gonna just add a shape on top of it. I could release the compound path since we created one, but I'm just gonna go ahead and make this a new shape and use the eyedropper tool again to click and sample from here. And the line width looks good, so I'm gonna leave that there. This would have been a good idea, which maybe we'll redo this to do this in the original pattern. So when we made the original snowflake arm, to have these in there. But I think for the stars, we're going to place them a little more sporadic. So maybe just for this one, it would have been a good idea to place that in there. And then I'll jump this over here as well. Cute. Okay, and then maybe like one in the middle because it looks a little empty. Oh, undo. I think I pressed slash. Yes, if you press slash, it will undo the whatever you had highlighted. And right now I have the stroke highlighted, so it took that away. So don't press the slash unless you need that shortcut. Okay, so now it's looking a little more grouped and I like that. Maybe I'll scale this one up a little bit. Cute. Okay, and then to make this shape, I made a square. So I'm gonna come to my shape panel, hold shift and make a square. And then I went to effect, warp, and then I think it's inflate, but you do it negative. Yeah. So this is how I make the stars. I think there's a lot of other ways you can make it. You could freehand draw it. There's a lot of other things. But I usually do this one just to make sure that the math is doing it for me. And then I'm going to rotate this right to make it a star, but because it's using that effect, the effect is still alive. And so if you rotate it, it's going to make not the shape you were looking for. I'll do it again so you can see here. I'll like zoom in for you too. So it would make it just look like a little pillow when we want it to look really pointy like that. So make sure you go object, expand appearance, and that's going to get rid of the effect for you. Andy's asking, do I have to let the cookie dough sit overnight? Yes, that's definitely a must for this one. Oh yeah, Andy's going to give baking knowledge now. That's perfect. Wow, chat is going crazy. Appreciate you guys adding conversation here. Has anyone made gingerbread cookies at home? They're actually like a lot harder to make, I feel like, than you originally think. Like there's a lot more ingredients to it. Okay, maybe let's add this guy here. I think it looks good there. Should we do a repeat radial pattern on this? We might as well. Okay, let's see if we can make it match. So we're gonna go object, repeat radial, and then we're gonna have to scale this one up. So it was this top button, and I'm too close to the edge. So let's bring this guy back here. You can rotate it. Amazing. Okay, and so I'm gonna grab that one again. So I'm trying to line it up. Because this is a radial, I feel like we should be able to do this correctly, but usually it's easier to do the other way around, but let's just try and add it this way and see. Okay, make sure we have enough. So we have 8, so we need to go down to 6. Oh, look, and they're lining up. Amazing. We're really close to it. So let's scale it down a little bit. Wow, guys, we just did a radial pattern on top of radial pattern. Cookies are getting crazy out here. Okay, I think it looks pretty good. And then, so there's one other button I did not mention, which I think would be very important. So if you grab this little adjuster, it looks like a little half moon. This is going to show how far around you want the pattern to go. So this is a little bit difficult because I only have 6 on here. But if I had more, which I can show you, you would be able to see it a lot quicker. But where this dash line is where the pattern is not right now. So I'm going to keep moving this around and you'll see that it goes away and then you could bring it back this way. And so that's really helpful if you don't want to like outline the shape and you want to keep it live still, you could just edit it that way and then expand it. So it's really nice. Oh yeah, okay, that was a little star trick for you. I'm glad. I feel like there are a million ways to do things in Illustrator, and so everyone just has their own way. So that's the way I do it to make sure that they look that way. Okay, these aren't lining up perfectly, and I think it's because I was messing around with everything. So I'm gonna do the old cheat here and just expand that, and then come into that. So those are grouped. So this is gonna move as a whole group. So I'm gonna align it again, and then I'm gonna come in here, double click. I'm just gonna move these individually. Again, the best way to do this would be when we first had that one arm that we repeated around, but since we're working backwards and feeling inspired, as one does, that's gonna be the workaround for us. Let's move these here. And then I saw a comment in there when someone said, this is like, it's hard to decorate cookies in real life. And that's very true. So here in Adobe Illustrator, you have all the redos that you need and the frosting is never gonna dry out. So that's really nice. Okay, amazing. Oh, it can turn this into a snowball using, you can do 3D in Illustrator. I don't use it often, just because that's not really the design usually the design work that I have going on, but there are some really awesome 3D things that you can do in Illustrator. So maybe if we have time at the end, remind me, and we can explore that together. Okay, so I like this. I'm gonna actually change this. This is looking a little too pointy and everything else is a little bit roundy. So I'm gonna come back to my stroke panel. I'm gonna highlight all of these guys, stroke panel, and then I'm gonna make sure I click the cap that's gonna be round. So that looks, yeah, that looks better. The style is all there. Amazing. And then let's prep this one to be a pin just in case it was gonna be a pin. So I'm gonna double click on my background on this cookie shape, and then we're gonna go the object, path, offset path again. And then I think it's a little bit bigger. And I'm gonna turn this to round to smooth it out a little bit more. Maybe that's too big. Maybe let's do like 15 pixels. Let's see. Perfect. Maybe that was about the same. And then we're gonna go eyedropper tool and then pick the white again and then turn off the outline. So that is how we're making little enamel pins here, guys. So there is one like issue when you're making enamel pins, and that it's like there are minimum and maximum requirements for what they are able to do with the fill and the stroke, because this is going to be like a physical good, right? So in Illustrator, everything is a vector piece of art, meaning that it's infinitely scalable at any size, right? But once you translate that into the real world, you know, the real world applies to it. So there's only so small that materials can go. And so if you were going to be submitting this to a client or a printer, it would be really important to know like the minimum widths and the maximums and like for the material that you're working with. That's not something we have to worry about here, but I just want to note that as we're making enamel pins, I feel like it's helpful to know like some of the real world application of that. And then another really cool tool that I've really been enjoying lately is the measuring tool, which is, oh, it moved in here because I was using something else. Amazing. Well, I'm going to find it for you guys eventually. There's a measuring tool here, which is something that I would use to help show my client how big this is. So normally you would like come here and go properties and you would have to type it in here. But there is a new feature in Illustrator where you can measure it correctly. But I'm not sure why mine's not showing up. So in chat, if you know where it is, do let me know, because I know it's around here somewhere, but I'm not seeing it correctly. Suspicious. Okay, but there is a really good feature and I would love to show you guys. So if we know where it is, let me know. Okay, so this is this one, and let's go on now and make the candle, because I think that one showcases some other really interesting concepts. Oh, I didn't do the tree. Let's do the tree. Come back to the tree. Okay, so I'm going to use the square tool here to make a triangle. Shift drag out to make that shape, and I'm going to delete one of those, and I'm going to use shift drag, I guess. So I'm going to hold shift, and I'm going to wait for that little arrow tool to show up there, and then I'm going to rotate this 180, 90, something like that. To get this top shape here. And then I'm going to select A to get the direct select tool, and I'm going to pull in from these corners to make it a little more roundy. Because if you've ever cooked a cookie, even if it's like pointy, when you put it in the oven, it always comes out roundy. So I think that's a really good idea. Oh, so cool. Someone made pins for a thing in San Antonio. That's really cool. Amazing. Yes, baking does need an undo button. That's very true. Love that. Okay. So back to our tree here, I'm going to use this shape and I'm just going to make it bigger. So I'm going to option shift, drag it down. I'm going to scale it up. This one has been in the oven too long, I think. It's really roundy. Maybe we should make that a little bit sharper. So I'm going to use A again to bring this out a little bit, make it a little sharper. Perfect. Cool. That's looking pretty good here. I feel like the alignment looks right. The overlap looks good. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit. And then you guessed it, we're gonna use the Pathfinder tool to merge these together. So unite it right there. The dimensions tool is in the tool section, the last one. Where's the last one? Is it in this guy? Yeah, let me see if I can just find it. Dimension. Oh no, it's gonna search now. No, it's not pulling up immediately. The tool section. It's in here somewhere. I just used it and then I updated, and so I think it got somewhere else on me. You know when you like re-update it and then all your panels like move around somewhere? Either way, very, very helpful. Over 11 cookie, yes. This is not an illustration for a Christmas card, but it could be. If you click the link in the description for this video, there is going to be a link there for these assets. So if you want to use it as a Christmas card, do it. That'd be really exciting. But these are actually for an enamel pin that you could win if you enter the sweepstakes for the Adobe Live Holiday Week. And the sweepstakes are in the chat. Yeah, Wade has been dropping a link for that. Then there's also a little tab for it if you want to enter that way as well. Okay, so this is going to be our tree, and I'm going to turn this the brown color so we can make sure that it looks like a cookie. And I'm going to add this little stem or trunk at the bottom. I'm going to drag this in like, I don't know, a couple pixels here to give a little shape, a little interest to the trunk here. Those look a little off center. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to highlight both of these by dragging and clicking and click the align tool to make sure that they're aligned correctly. Scale this up a little bit. Thanks, Wade. Yeah, Wade's dropping all the links in there. So if you want to get these illustrations, do something fun with them. I'd love to see. And then tag at me on Instagram at Emily Poulin, which hopefully, Wade, if you could spell it correctly, that'd be awesome. Not that you wouldn't, but I spell it really tricky on Instagram, or at Adobe Live. That'd be amazing. And I'd love to just see what you guys do because it's really fun. Like it's fun and creative for me to work on it, but to see what you guys do is always really interesting. Okay, this tree's looking really wide for this little trunk, so maybe this needs to get scaled up correctly. That looks cool. I'm going to align this and then I'm going to merge these guys so they're ready to be blended later on. And then as we are looking at this, so one thing I think that's important as you're designing is to make sure like you're running through everything and thinking, okay, does this look like how it should? Like, is this looking congruent? And so one thing that's standing out to me is that we rounded the corners to make sure that it looked like a big cookie, right? But we left these ones pointy. So we're going to have to come back in and change those so that way they are looking round and also baked and not like digital cookie merged with not digital cookie. Enamel cookie. And the same goes down here actually. So I'm going to grab these. So I'm just using, so if I drag select, it's going to select all the points. But if I click A, which is a shortcut, or you can come up here for the direct select tool, then I can click on these points individually and bring them out like that. So now it's looking a little rounder. And then I mentioned in the beginning, oh, you're amazing. Thanks, Wade. Yeah, the name of my spelling, or the spelling of my name is a little bit tricky just because there's a lot of Emily Poulins on Instagram. So that was the spelling that ended up being available. So that's what it's gone with. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get a little sip of water here. Amazing. Okay, and so I mentioned this first one. This one's a little bit more direct and technical, I think, because I was using the pen tool. But I'm going to go ahead and use the either the brush or the pencil tool. I'm going to use the pencil tool, which I know where this one is. This one's in the same spot, the pencil tool here. And I'm going to go ahead and drag this one out manually so that way it looks like a little bit more hand-drawn. And I'm going to follow a little bit different pattern, I think. So this first one, I wanted to go with like, I guess like branches almost, but I thought this was like, this is a design I definitely have done, I think, on a cookie. So this one, I think, let's try something different. Maybe let's try like zigzags or something. I'm going to do an offset path inside. So offset paths work both ways. Offset path, instead of going positive, we're going to go negative. I think negative, yeah, -1/4 inch, that, or 1/8 inch. That looks great. So let's do that. And then I'm going to use eyedropper tool to grab this white outline. I'm going to turn off the fill. You can also just, oh, perfect. I did not turn off the fill. You can also do it manually, which I'm going to do now. I just like the eyedropper tool. I don't know why. I think it's just so easy. And that way you can pick it up easily. Okay, so let's maybe try doing like little like rickety rack squiggles across maybe, and let's just see how that goes. So I'm gonna actually do another feature that is really cool, which is draw inside. So normally what I would do is like I would draw over this and then I use a clipping mask, but this is definitely a faster way and a more efficient way of doing this. So I have the draw inside tool, and so it's gonna give you these little fancy markers, I guess, to let you know what shape you're drawing inside. And I'm gonna go ahead and start drawing through here. And as you can see, like I could draw all the way out and it's only gonna like show the object that we've selected, which is really helpful. So I'm gonna make sure, yeah, I think I'm gonna go like this. I feel like this looks like maybe like snow. Oh, maybe we'll do snow. Wait, that could be really cute. You know what? We're changing directions here. I'm gonna draw a little like shape like this. And let's see. Yeah, I feel like that looks believable, like snow. So this is going to be like the little, like each level will have a little snowy branch basically on it. And then we're going to come back in with the other shapes so they all tie together. I think it's going to look really cute. So there's this one. And again, I'm doing this a little more hand-drawn because I think it'd be a really fun treatment. Oops, come here. Okay, we're back in the shape. Amazing. I'm just going to drag this. Well, let's make it a little different. I'll go ahead and draw another one. Amazing. Wait, yeah, I guess we'll do it just like every level. I think that looks right. And I'm just freehanding these right now because I feel like that's how cookies look. Granted, the outline isn't freehanded, but I think it looks fun together like that. It's giving digital cookie. Okay, or reminding me of a digital cookie. Okay, let's do that. Let's scale this in a little bit. I don't want them to be exactly the same, but I want it to look like, you know, as paying attention while I frosted, you know? Cute. Okay. That one got a little squiggly because it's really wide. Here, let me zoom out. That is one thing I feel like when you're drawing in Illustrator, the longer it gets, like the harder it can be to like keep it consistent. So just scale your artboard down because you can. A little shortcut there for you. Does clipping mask count as an effect? I'm not sure. No, I'd say a clipping mask is just a function of Illustrator. I don't know how to answer that question exactly, but we can definitely demo some clipping masks if you would like. Okay. Amazing. Okay, this is cute. I'm just adjusting some of these to make it look a little more even. Awesome. It looks like people are sharing their work in the chat. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna drag this a little bit. Cool. I think this looks cute and snowy, or maybe it'll be a little confusing and maybe we should just, no, it looks like an ocean. Okay, no, I think it's cute like that. All right, I'm gonna come over here and I'm just gonna drag or copy these shapes. So because this is a lot of grouping, I'm gonna double click in and then I'm gonna select this group, double click into that group. I'm gonna grab this one, Command C, go back over here, Command V. Then I'm just gonna place these on here. I'm pretending that these are either, I mean, I guess these could be frosting, or I'm gonna pretend these are like little, what do you put on them? Sprinkles, I guess? I was gonna say ornaments, but I think they're more sprinkles because these are cookies. So I'm just gonna hold Option Shift and drag these around to make little ornaments on here, which I think is really fun. I guess you'd have to place them on the icing probably if you're a cookie decorator, because that's where they would stick. But maybe you put some icing on the back, so these can just stick on here as well. Love it. I'm gonna drag another one over here. Cute. Maybe we should put one at the top. Why not? Cute, although we would have to expand this then, so let's do that. So let's hold both of these, Command Shift, amazing. I'm going to use Pathfinder, merge these, or actually, you know what? We don't need to merge both of these. We'll just do this guy. Path, offset path. But we're gonna go positive this time. That looks about right. Amazing. Eyedropper tool, match it to the back, bring it back over. I'm gonna right click this and do arrange send to back. I'm gonna do it, oh, it's grouped. Oops. I'm gonna go in here and delete this guy. Goodbye. Okay, grab this one, right click it, arrange, send to back. Why don't you want to go to the back? You're seeing me click it, right? And it not go. There we go. That's funny. Okay, I'm gonna merge those together. So now our Christmas tree, if this was a cookie, I'd be very nervous because I think it would break off, but it looks really good. Looks like sprinkles that you piped icing around. Yeah, right? It looks good. I think it's working. If this was a bakery, would we all be going to get a cookie, or do we not believe these are real? Okay, and then I'm gonna add the little pink circles on here too. The other second, what's it called? Decoration that we had. We had two sprinkles to work with, but we're making it look beautiful. We could introduce another one, I guess, but I like this one. I think it looks good. Very cute, very holiday-esque. Awesome. Maybe that one's too many. We're gonna delete that one. All right. Oh, also, there's a really amazing podcast that Adobe has launched recently with Teresa Au, and it's amazing. It's called In the Making, and I really have been enjoying listening to it like in the afternoons while I'm working. She's having really cool conversations with other designers and creatives and content makers just about like what they do, their advice. I've really, really been enjoying it, so I definitely would recommend checking that out. Let me show you actually. Well, here's a Dropbox link for this piece of work that we're working on here. And then here's the podcast. So In the Making podcast, there's Teresa. It's a really amazing podcast. I've really been enjoying it. It's fairly new to me. I think, yeah, they're only about 10 episodes in, but it's been really incredible to listen to. So I really would recommend you checking it out while you're working and just see what you think. Okay, getting back to this, I'm gonna go ahead and round this as well. I'm gonna use the A direct select tool to round this. Perfect. Okay, this looks good. Okay, amazing. So I'm gonna highlight all of this. I'm gonna group this. I'm also gonna give this an artboard. So I'm just gonna come over here and I'm gonna draw a 5x5 artboard. Oh, my screen is really low. Sorry about that, everyone. Okay, 5x5, amazing. Go ahead and drop this here. Awesome. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add a offset path, but just to this part. And I'm gonna add that pink. So I'm gonna do object, path, offset path. I'm gonna up that a little bit more so it matches the other one. Eyedropper tool to the pink. Looks great. Scale it down. Look at that. I love it. Okay, maybe that was a little too big. Maybe we'll scale it down a little bit. I think it looks good. Amazing. Okay, how's chat doing? Yeah, Wade, what's your favorite cookie? Has everyone been weighing in on their favorite cookie? Are we making everyone hungry? It's like lunchtime, so sorry if you're hungry for this. Okay, I'm gonna add another stroke to this one just because it's looking a little bit too thin. So I'm gonna do that. Perfect. That looks great. You know what? Hold on, sorry. This one's got to move. I feel like it should be here maybe. That looks great. Okay, amazing. Awesome. All right, so this is looking good. So if we go to the ones that we had originally launched, I kind of, oh, I guess that one was more of a star than it was a snowflake. But I merged these two together and then I did offset path again to make it even larger. And so that's so that way they can print together. These are separate, but you could also be doing that too, where you would just merge these together and work on your layers to make sure that they come together correctly. Speaking of cookies, oh yeah, someone's gonna go get a cookie. I'm glad we're inspiring that. That's good. I feel like that's the time of year, you know? Okay, I'm gonna line that. I'm gonna line this one. Amazing. Okay. Should we do the candle? I think that would be really fun. Whoops, let me steal from the candle. My bad. Let me know if you guys have any questions of anything that we've been working on. I feel like it's just using really like familiar tools into making really fun new shapes here. Okay. I want to say maybe we should try doing the pine cone. I'm like, what does a pine cone look like? So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna go to Adobe Stock and let's go look up pine cone to see what, you know, and like when you're illustrating something, I feel like it's helpful to know like what an illustration is. Man, this is gonna be tricky to do as a illustration. So maybe let's do something a little more flat. Oops, go away. A little more flat like this. I think that could be helpful instead of trying to get dimension. I think that might be a little difficult. And maybe we do something like this. So it's maybe like a bumpy shape. And then we'll add like the white lines. I'm like trying to translate this into like enamel and also cookies. So luckily they're kind of similar, I guess, of like treatment. So let's go back to Illustrator then. And let's see, I think, oh, it's gonna load weird like that. Cool. Let's go back to Illustrator. Okay. I'm gonna draw an oval. All right, if this turns out crazy, you saw it here first. You were here when it happened. Okay, I'm gonna do, I think, an oval shape to get the overall shape. And then I think I'm gonna add like a circle to it because I feel like they're a little more round and they're tall. So I'm gonna get the shape. It's like, it's eggy, but well, you know what? Maybe I'll do a direct select tool of this and pull it up. Is that like too much like an egg? An egg pine cone? All right, and then maybe the bottom is like a little more. So right now I'm adjusting the Bezier curves and their handles. So I'm just manually coming in here with the direct select tool and pulling these out to adjust the shape. Okay, so here's our pine cone. I feel like that's looking, or our pine cone shape. People are liking the pink border. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I tried to dress and match the theme here. I got the pink and white going. I did not have gingerbread cookie color though. Okay, so let's do this and then let's try and do, maybe I'll kind of follow how this ham texture worked, which I did draw within the shape here. So I'm gonna come over here again and click draw within the shape. And I'm gonna do this, if we're making triangles, I guess we'll just do it with the pencil tool. You could do this with the pen tool to make it a little more like, what's it called? Even, but let's just do this by hand and see how this looks. So I'm not sure if this is the correct direction, but I'm gonna try this. We'll look at it. We'll look at the reference again and we'll see how we feel about it. Okay, and then I'm gonna come this way. I feel like this is not even, but I think it's okay because again, these are handmade cookies that you are relaxing, making with your family during the holidays. Okay, it's looking pine cone-esque. Like I believe this is a pine cone, right? I'm scared to look at chat. Chat's gonna be like, absolutely not. Just kidding. Okay, wait, that actually looks like a pine cone. Uneven ham stripes give it personality. Yes. Ham stripes is the correct pattern. There are no other pattern names besides ham stripe. Okay, that's looking good. I'm gonna just, okay, so I'm nitpicking here, but I think this is something important. And if I was the enamel pin maker, I would also be a little concerned. So something like this is gonna be really difficult to print and like isn't really necessary. So I'm gonna come back in here and I'm gonna just move this to try and match like the same direction, but then also fill in any like unnecessary little gaps like that where I think that the material could get trapped or it would just be more distracting than it would be helpful. In design, they usually call that like an accident. Well, that's not really an accidental tangent. That was actually just a tangent. Let's move that around a little bit. And I'm gonna just adjust this one too. This looks like I guess like the pine cone that hasn't opened yet. What we could maybe do, I'm gonna copy this for a non-destructive workflow. I'm gonna copy the whole thing. Well, hold on. Let's give him his holiday swag, which is gonna be these little decor pieces here. Oops. As I click into every shape I've ever made. Okay, if you're a pine cone being decorated, I guess you would have it in like the little, where the little seed pods are maybe. I think this looks more like a Fabergé egg, but that's okay. It looks fun. And all that matters with cookies is the flavor, right? So just kidding, this is a design stream. Too many circles down here. Let's switch one of these around. Cool. Maybe right there. Cute. Okay. Here's our unopened pine cone, and then we'll give the border to this one as well. Path, offset path. Oops. Okay, I just want to make sure I had the right shape, so I'm just going to copy it. Amazing. Okay, then I'm going to click both of these, right click, arrange, send to back. Yay, and there is our pine cone egg friend. Group that. Oh, Penny, I'm sorry. No, that was not the ham. This was the pine cone, which I think you selected, or you suggested the pine cone. Someone suggested pine cone, and I thought, let's try it. Let's do something different. Oh, everyone's excited for ham. Sorry about that. Magic egg. Yes, Wade gets it. The sparkly egg. Okay, I'm gonna take this shape. I'm gonna Command copy it, Command V, just because since there's stuff inside of it, I don't know if this will work exactly, but I'm gonna go to object, or no, sorry, it's effect, distort, where is it? Distort, transform, zigzag. And now it'll be a spiky egg. I'm gonna see if we can get this going as like a smooth. Oh, it's getting tricked because there's a really short little point right here. So I think I'd have to come and fix the curve. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna add a point by pressing plus using the pen tool. I'm gonna drop it here, then I'm gonna delete. Oh, there's a better way to delete these. Well, I'm just gonna delete it this way right now and adjust the curve back. There's a better way to delete these where it keeps the curve, it preserves the curve, but I forget what the keystroke is. Okay, so now that we have one, let me try that again. Effect, distort, transform, zigzag. Okay, spiky egg, but if we do it like this, and it just looks like a germ, kind of. Also, I don't know what your cookie cutter would look like for this one. It'd look a little bit crazy. It's a little bit tricky because we're trying to make a zigzag on a circle already. So maybe that's why. Let's do like 5 pixels. That's about what we had. Sometimes I'm like, because I don't know the decimal for inches, I'll try just pixels. Let's do 4 pixels and see. Yeah, okay, cool. Then let's copy these guys. Did I copy them? No. I just want the lines, the shaped lines. All right, are they there? Okay, I got my lines. I'm gonna Command C, I got them highlighted. I'm gonna delete this guy, goodbye. All right, let's try these same lines on this guy and see how that looks. Okay, I mean, for a direct paste, it's not terrible. And I've seen worse cookies come out of my oven, I feel like. Okay, let me drag this over here. Oh wow, okay, some of these are like lining up with the little lines, and I feel like that looks cool. I feel like that looks pine coney. How are we feeling about the lumpy pine cone? Is it working? No longer the shiny egg, but a lumpy pine cone. Guys, the stream has gone by so fast. It's almost time for the next one. But I've had so much fun working on this, and I really would love to see if you guys make anything with these, and if you make your own cookies that look better than this egg. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more trick for this. So I'm gonna zoom in super large so you can tell, but since there is an effect on this path, it's still showing us the original shape, so I could turn that off if I wanted to. If I came to appearance, I was not clicking on it. So if I came to the appearance panel, it's gonna show me like what was happening to the shape. So here's our more realistic pine cone, and here's our egg shape. So because that's just an effect and it's not actually like in the shape, I'm gonna have to expand it. So object expand. Amazing. So now I have my shape officially, and now I can give it the offset path that it needs and deserves to match all of its friends. Oh, oh, it's because I'm within the shape still. Amazing. Okay. I just want the outline shape, please. Okay. It expanded all the shapes. I'm just gonna grab the outline shape then. There we go. Okay, delete this guy. I'm gonna drag this here, right click, arrange, send it back. Okay, and then we're gonna align these. Oops. Click something weird. All right. The lumpiest pine cone of them all, but the most beautiful pine cone for Christmas. Okay, cool. Or a holiday pine cone. All right, it's looking good. Or does it look like a bag of coal or something? Andy says that's an awesome pine cone. Thank you for the support. We're trying our best out here. I feel like you know what something looks like until someone says like, well, can you draw that? And for me and my skills, I say, wait, what does it look like again? So maybe we need to look at pine cones a little bit more. But it's always helpful to work from a reference. All right. Sorry, these shapes are just annoying. I feel like because the lines are their own pattern, that makes it a little bit crazier. Now everyone's on the same side. Okay, let me move these around. Cool. All right, well, let me review here what we've been working on, and then we'll keep working, and then when the next stream is ready, we'll jump over, but we'll delete Pinecone Cookie because we did it, so yay us. There they are in all their beauty. So today we are looking at just how to build enamel pins in Adobe Illustrator. We have lots of sweepstakes, so there's the physical giveaway for this, so make sure you enter in the chat. I saw Wade's been dropping the link in there, which is awesome. But fill it out. We would love to send this to you guys. And then the digital download for this is in the description for this video. So download that and you'll be getting all 5 of these guys, which their artboard got really small. But you'll be getting all 5 of these. The pineapple is included. And so these are really fun. Do whatever you want with them. Make sure you show online what you've been working on, and we'll be really excited to see what you make. And then, yeah, this has just been the holiday stream in Adobe Illustrator. So I've been really enjoying this. Thanks for jumping in chat and hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. Let's see if we can make this candle in the last like 5 minutes. I think we could do it. So I'm just going to use this building shapes mostly, and then we'll keep going. If you have any last minute questions, feel free to ask in the chat, and I'll try and pay close attention to that as we're working. An appetizing pine cone. Thank you, guys. I'm making everyone hungry for cookies. Honestly, I am too. It is lunchtime or after lunchtime, depending where you are. Okay, I'm going to pull in these corners for this candle. Oh, Erin. Hey, Erin. How's it going? Thanks, you guys, for all the support. I really appreciate you guys. It's really fun to do this, but it's even more fun to do it with other people. So, okay, I'm going to bring this in. Amazing. Okay, and then we're going to use the draw within tool again. I'm going to make sure this isn't brown because we won't be able to see it. I'm going to do white for our icing. This is the speed round, guys. Oh, this has a stroke on it. So let's turn that stroke off on the shape. I was like, why is it getting hidden? Okay, no stroke on the shape. Amazing. That looks a little too thick, so I'm going to pull that down. Do like that. Okay, I'm going to grab our sparkles, which again, we could remake, but let's do it this way so it's a little bit faster. Everyone's just saying hi to each other in chat. That's amazing. Look at our community. Make sure you follow along on YouTube so you can always be a part of this community. All right. And probably some up here. Let's do this one. Let's do, yeah, inside of it. The negative offset path looks good. I'm going to do I for the white outline. I don't remember what I did the first time, so we'll see. All right. Yes, this is a candle that we're working on. Sorry, I was like really zoomed in, so I'm sorry if that was difficult to see what it was. Let's just do 1 drip of wax. What did I do on this one? Oh, I put little sparkles in there. Okay, I do like that. Actually, this is fun and different. Let's do it this way. But I do think this one looks a little too thick, so let's like make the shape itself a little thinner. And maybe this flame is too big. I think I just need to scale the whole thing down. Yeah, okay, and then let's give this one a white outline. I don't know how that one got so thick. Maybe it's the size we're building at. Let's turn that off. Okay, cool. Looks good. And then let's build the little, I don't know what you call that, candle holder, I guess, that it's sitting on. I got on another layer somehow. Another layer? No. Interesting. Okay, there it is. Cool. And then I think I just added a half circle underneath of this. So I'm just going to scale the circle up. And the biggest part is just to make sure that these side pieces match each other, which they look pretty good. So that's what's going to make it believable. And then I'm going to use the scissor tool and I'm going to cut this right here and here. I'm going to delete just this top part. So using I to delete that. This is a speed round, guys. I hope this is still enjoyable to watch. Okay, and then let's make this one, let's make this pink. And make sure this one is behind it. Amazing. So now it looks like it's sitting, looks like ham, just kidding. And then I'm just gonna use this tool, the brush tool, to make like a little handle for us to be able to hold it. Sparkle sprinkles everywhere. Yep. That's the reason of the season, sparkle sprinkles. Let's do, sorry. Path, I'll set path. As I've done it 100 times on the stream and then I forgot how to do it. Okay, maybe it should be pink. No, I guess it should be brown to match the rest of it. I just want to make it a little bit thicker because I feel like it's not believable if it's a cookie if it's too thin. Although let's leave this white part because I think that could be like the icing outline. So I'm gonna use I, select it, bring it down. All right, we're in our final minutes here, so I will make sure that I'm finishing this, but this has been really fun hanging out with you guys. It flew by, so thank you for jumping in the chat and hanging out with us. I hope you have a very happy holiday, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the stream. So there's streams for the rest of this week. So today, I believe Andrew is the last stream, so he's up next after me for today. But then the rest of the week, there's streams, there's giveaways. All of it's really fun. All of it's holiday themed, so definitely make sure that you're tuning in. Okay, awesome. So yeah, definitely make sure that you're tuning in and paying attention to what the giveaways are so you can be participating in that. But everyone has really exciting streams planned for you. So Andrew, I believe his next stream is doing Illustrator and Adobe, or not Express, sorry. InDesign, he's building planners and calendars, which is really cool. He is a wizard when it comes to those things, so definitely tune in for that. I watched him do it a million times and every time I'm still amazed by it. So definitely tune in for that. And he's just really fun. He's one of my good friends. He's just really fun to hang out with too. So definitely tune in for that. All right, this candle's coming together here. Oh, I did like little lines on it. The lines look good. Let's add lines. Let's close this shape so I think we can draw inside of it. Amazing. Oh, that did not go. Well, let's just add lines to the candles. I think that could be more fun. I'm gonna do pen and I'm gonna just do a line across like that. Use the eye tool like this. And I'm gonna do a blended pattern. So I'm going to click both of these, object, blend, make. And I'm going to add more to that though, because that was not enough. So let's add maybe like 10. Okay, and then I'm going to click this one and bring this one up a little bit more. I'm going to make this complicated for myself. I didn't mean to. It's going to be a little bit difficult with that line here. So actually, it'll be okay. I'll just expand it and do it on my own. So let me do like that. And then click out, object expand. Happy holidays, chat. Thanks you guys so much for joining. I'm gonna see if I can finish this for you before. If not, I hope you have a wonderful holiday and hopefully I'll see you in the other streams in the chat. But I'm just gonna keep cleaning this up as we get going here. Okay, so I'm gonna make this like a striped candle below the wax. So like the wax is covering the stripe of the candle. I feel like that's kind of cool. cool. And then I could use a clipping mask for this, which I probably should, but I'm just gonna do it right here and not give it a pink outline. So we'll just pretend that it is contained inside that pattern. But if we had more time, I would do it the correct way, but this is just gonna be our little final send off here for our candle. And then maybe this should be pink, I don't know. Maybe not, because it picked up the stripe for it, or the outline for it. But I think that looks good. It's getting somewhere. Not as fun as our original one. Oh, someone was watching on YouTube. Barbara, it's good that you're watching on YouTube. You can subscribe there too. On Behance, on YouTube, all of it is a great place. All right, you guys. So here, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. There's our holiday ham. Okay, I'm gonna zoom up here again so you can see the final pieces. Thank you guys so much for joining the stream. This was really exciting and fun to be a part of. I hope you have a very wonderful holiday season. I hope you spend time with your family. I hope you get to make cookies. And I really do hope that you join the rest of the stream for this week. So up next, after the stream, if you just stay where you are, my friend Andrew's coming on and he's gonna be designing in Illustrator and InDesign, doing some really cool like calendar. I think he's doing budgeting, basically anything that's like a grid and templatized. It's gonna be really cool and probably mind-blowing. So definitely tune in for that and be here for the giveaway. So yeah, click the giveaway links below here and then also in the chat. And then yeah, just enjoy your holiday. Thank you so much for hanging out and it's been really great.